You are welcome in the biochemistry class organized by Society of Career Technology and Jan Vikas Mahasabha. We have studied carbohydrates. Now we will study about carbohydrate metabolism. Metabolism is many types of reactions which happen in our body cell. They are of two types. One, synthetic reaction which are called anabolism, and then some breakdown reactions which are called catabolism. And summation of both anabolism and catabolism is called metabolism. Before that, I would like to discuss with you the concept of cybernetics. This concept of cybernetics was given by Norbert Wiener in 1970. It is a very important principle. It says cybernetics is the science of steering of the car by which you manage its driving. So cybernetics is science of steering. It says that control mechanism is same in both inanimate and animate objects. In both a machine and a living system, similar type of control mechanism is there. For example, suppose we are driving a vehicle. Then there is an accelerator which manages to increase its speed when there is enough space in front. And if there is an obstruction, then we use brake or retarder which decreases the speed. So there is one accelerator and one retarder. Both together manage the speed of a vehicle. Similarly, in our body also, when we come after a physical exercise, energy requirement of all our body cells are increased for some time. Normal respiration is insufficient. So what happens at that time? Sympathetic nerves of our body, nervous system, increase our heartbeat and respiratory rate for some time. And just opposite, the parasympathetic nerves try to decrease the increased rate of heartbeat and respiratory rate, and within 5 to 10 minutes our heartbeat and respiratory rate becomes to normal. So here you can see that control mechanism is same in both cases. The control mechanism of inanimate object is called servo mechanism, and control mechanism of living system is called homeostasis. The concept of homeostasis was given actually by Claude Bernard in 1871, and he said that our body cells are exposed to two types of environments. One, the external environment, the heat, cold, light, dark, smell, all things present in our surrounding atmosphere, they make an external environment. And secondly, the environment present around our body cells, which are based by blood, lymph and extracellular fluid, they make the internal environment. Claude Bernard said that this internal environment is very essential and it should be maintained constant, because any change in this internal environment will affect the functioning of body cell. So he said that this internal environment is tried to be maintained constant. Later on in 1951, Walter B. Cannon used the word homeostasis, and homeostasis is maintenance of a constant internal environment. Now this homeostasis can be achieved by two things, either by two opposing forces or by a negative feedback. Here we will talk about two opposing forces. Let us talk about maintenance of blood glucose level. In our blood, the blood glucose level is maintained in between 80 to 140 milligram glucose per 100 ml of blood. After digestion of food, glucose is formed, it absorbed and come in the blood circulation, blood vessel. As the concentration increases above 140 milligram, immediately the message is conveyed to beta cells of pancreatic islets, which secrete the insulin hormone. Insulin hormone stimulates the process of glycogenesis. Glycogenesis is formation of glycogen from glucose. The liver and muscle cells act as a storage organ for glucose in the form of glycogen. Similarly, after some time, when much of the blood glucose level is exhausted, utilized by all body cells, it drops below the 80 milligram level. Then the message is carried to alpha cells of the pancreatic islets, which secrete glucagon hormone. Glucagon hormone causes glycogenolysis in the storage organ, the liver and muscle cells. Glycogen is broken down into glucose, and that glucose comes into the blood circulation. And during urine formation also, during urine formation, if the blood glucose level is up to 180 milligram per 100 ml of the blood, all glucose is again reabsorbed in the blood and no glucose passes in urine. But if blood glucose level increases above 180 milligram per 100 ml of the blood, then of course some glucose is reabsorbed, but some glucose passes in urine and goes out, which happens in the disease diabetes mellitus. Now, the metabolism of glucose includes many aspects, such as, first of all, the glycogenesis or formation of glycogen from glucose in the storage organ, liver and muscle cells whenever required. Then, if there is deficiency of blood glucose level from the storage organ, liver and muscle cells, there is breakdown of glycogen into glucose, which is called glycogenolysis. In every body cell, we have oxidation of food material, which involves glycolysis, Krebs cycle, and electron transport chain. In glycolysis or Embeden-Meyerhof pathway, EMP pathway, the 6-carbon glucose is broken up to the level of 2 molecules of 3-carbon molecule pyruvic acid, and pyruvic acid is changed to acetyl coenzyme A. Then acetyl coenzyme enters into Krebs cycle. So it happens in both aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Then there is a process of HMP shunt, hexose monophosphate shunt, which is important for the synthesis of 5-carbon sugar compounds, ribose and deoxyribose sugar, which are used in nucleic acid biosynthesis. Then if there is need of glucose and no storage glycogen is there, then glucose may be formed from fatty acids or amino acids, and this process is called gluconeogenesis. In our muscle cells, lactic acid is formed in anaerobic respiration, and that lactic acid is converted into glycogen. So that cycle is called Cori cycle. Then during oxidation of glucose, after acetyl coenzyme A, it goes into Krebs cycle or TCA cycle, tricarboxylic acid cycle, or citric acid cycle. Every time there is electron transport system, as soon as hydrogen atom comes out from the glucose molecule, it is ionized into separate electron and proton, and from the excited electron, the energy is utilized for the formation of 3 ATP. Formation of phosphate is called phosphorylation. Here the oxidation is coupled with phosphorylation of ADP to form ATP. So this process is called oxidative phosphorylation. Acetyl coenzyme A is very important because it is the intermediate molecule for metabolic mill, and it connects it with the fat metabolism and amino acid metabolism. Photosynthesis is the synthesis of glucose by the chlorophyll molecule of green plants by utilizing solar energy, atmospheric carbon dioxide and water to form glucose molecules of food for all living organisms. So this much for the day. Thank you very much. Rest we will talk tomorrow.